So this particular topic says procurement activities in different sectors. For that, we should know what are these different sectors, what are the meanings of it, what it comprises of, or with the help of various examples, it becomes easier for us to understand what these sectors are, right? Then after that, in the coming lectures, we will be discussing about what are the impact of uh, these sectors on the procurement activities. So, first, coming on to the topics, what will be covered under procurement activities of different sectors will be as the classification of various sectors into economic, industrial sectors, as third sectors, what are these classifications as private sector, public sector, or a third sector organization. Then, what are these impacts of these sectors on these various sectors, right? So, coming on to introductory part, what is the meaning of industry first thing. So industry covers a variety of sectors which always includes are the way of classifying the various organizations in relation to a way that they are funded. What are the objectives of those sectors, what product or services are being delivered by these sectors to the society. Regardless of the sectors, there are some regulations. So depending on the classification of the sectors, some there will be various regulations, various standards to be achieved by these sectors. So here, which what we will be discussing, what are the various sectors and what these sectors impact on the procurement procedures. First thing, what is sector? Sectors are linked to the economy or the industry in which an organization trades. There are fundamental differences between various sectors and as well as there are various similarities. As we told, there are some plus points of various sectors as well as there are some disadvantages as well. That is why there are some differences and there are some similarities when we classify the various sectors. So next what we will be going through is the classification of sectors. So, economic classification of those sectors. So, organizations, when we divide or classify it on the basis of economic, that is, organizations with the help of economic sector can be classified according to how they are funded, what their objectives are, what their policies are regarding profits. On the three bases, we can classify economic sectors, which can be as public sector, which we called as PLC, private sector, which we called as a private limited, or as third sector, which is the what we called as third sector organization, which are also called as non-profit organizations. So on the basis of economic classifications, we can divide the sectors into private, public, and third sector. Then, first, public sector. The public sector organizations are owned and controlled by the government. The main purpose of the public sector organization is to serve the general public with the product or the services, as well as to improve their standard of livings for their well-beings and improving their lifestyles. So these sectors are owned by government organizations, right? Which government organizations within the public sectors are structured to serve the public need rather than to generate profit. So these public sector organizations are those organizations which are owned by the various governments whose main motive is to serve the public general public with the various products or services. What can be the examples of these public sector organizations and what kind of services these provide? First, healthcare services like doctors' services, doctors' surgeries, hospital services. Then education. In education services, schools and colleges. Military services, which involves army, navy, air forces. Then emergency services, which includes police, ambulance, fire services. So these all are the examples of public sector services. Coming on to next, or the explanation of more explanations about this public sector is different countries we have different services. public sector services. What happens? Different government in different countries have different standards, different regulations for sector services. What has happened? Some of the government has privatized these services. Is when it has been privatized, they are no longer being funded or managed by the government, because entire control goes into the private sector's hand, or the private organizations. Government often face difficulties in taking decisions what to do, whether to provide a healthy lifestyle to the general public, or to generate taxes and run the country. So in that particular case, when they are they try to provide a healthy standard of living and a lifestyle to the public, they are not able to run the country properly. So in that case, they have to go for generating taxes to run the country. As well as individuals employed in these public sector, that is public sector organizations, get salaries which will be compared to the private organizations much lower. But when you compare to public sector employees, they get much more amenities as compared to private organizations. Coming on to more, public sector organizations are quite restricted in how they operate. They are governed by many rules and regulations because public sector is paid by the government funding. So there is a high level of interest in the media among the general public around whether these services are provided to a high standard and provide value for money. So here everyone has an interest in a public sector organizations, as they are being funded by the government. Everyone has an interest because they are there to serve the general public. So general public has much more interest whether what we are paying to the government and government are funding these organizations, what we are getting in terms of product or services are value for money or not. There are many stakeholders also in public sector. What we are talking about stakeholders, actually these are all the parties who have, whether it's a general public or it's the civil society or it's the public sector, but these have like which are the public sector projects where they have an interest in. So there are parties and people who have an interest in the public sector projects, whether it's the projects are related to community of place or community of interest or anything. So there, it's whether it's a general public or any other parties, they all have an interest into the public sector projects, whether it's the non-government organizations or it's the social enterprises, whether it's a national government or a regional government, all have an interest into the public sector projects, whether the projects are related to healthcare. Right now it's going on uh, relation related to COVID-19 and all. So all those these stakeholders literally have an interest into the public sector projects. Then coming on to private sector. What is private sector? Private sector organizations are owned and funded by individuals or enterprises. Their ranges can be as a small one-person business all the way through giant multinationals. So whether it's a multinational or a one-person business, it's a private sector. So the people involved in the private sector have one shared objective to make a profit. Whereas when you compare it with the public sector, they are for delivering the product and services and well-being to the society, that is to the general public. They don't have an aim or an objective of making one objective of making profit as of private sector. Businesses in private sector employ more people across the world rather than public sector. They aim to supply product or services to the customer or consumers by way, that is why they have number of employees, so that number of branches they can have, and by those branches they are able to who serve to the particular general public with their particular products and services, but their main aim is to generate profit. The examples of private sector will be as such: in case of hospitality, cafe, restaurants, hotels. Services of accountants, plumbers, hairdressers. Supermarkets like Tesco, Walmart, Carrefour, these all are private sector. Then non-food retailers as Nike, Swarovski, Barnes and Noble. Online retailers, Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra. These all are private sector. Manufacturers like Toyota, Tata Steel, Bosch. Then we have extractive commodities like Shell, BP, Glencore. Or when we talk about food processing, we have Kraft, Heinz, Nestle. These all are the services being provided by the private sector organizations. Private sector organizations can take different forms. What are those forms? There are four forms for a private sector organizations. What are these forms? Sole traders, partnership, limited companies, which are private limited companies, PLCs, they are called as public limited companies. So private sector organizations can be divided into these four forms. Now, first form, sole traders. Sole trading is the simplest form of private sector business. Sole trader businesses are owned and run by one person. Common examples of sole trader are hairdresser, carpenter, artists, where they open their own business and the business belongs to them itself. They want to employ people, they can employ more people, right? But they can deduct taxes in either at the end of the year to those employees, or because as a sole trader they also have to pay taxes at the end of the year out of their profits they earn. There are various advantages of these sole traders business as well as disadvantages. What are those? Advantages can be as completely responsible for running their business. Needs to need not to report anyone because they are the whole and soul of the business. Profit belongs to the sole trader himself. Every decision is their own. Whatever right or wrong, decision belongs to the sole trader itself. Disadvantages also are there as we have advantages for sole trading business. Solely liable for all the debts of the business. Yes, sole traders are solely liable for the all the debts. If they are liable for all the profits, they are liable for all the debts or the liabilities of the business themselves. No suggestions and recommendations, that is disadvantages. They don't take any suggestions and recommendations from any other. They are the whole and soul. They take their own decisions and they are responsible for that, whether right or wrong. Loss belongs to them, that is liabilities also belongs to them. If profit belongs to them, liabilities or loss also belongs to them, that is disadvantages. Held liable for their own wrong decisions, so they will be only held liable for their own wrong decisions, no one else. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of sole trading business. Coming on to partnership. Partnership, business partnerships are organizations which are owned and are liable by two or more individuals, right? Business partners can keep any profit made by the partnership after paying taxes but are not responsible for any losses, right? So if they are held, if they are coming, it depends what kind of a partnership. If they are contributing to some percentage of a capital to the business, that percentage of the profit will be shared among the partners. It can be two partners, it can be more partners as well as what with what motive they are coming into the partnership business. If they are coming with a motive to be held liable for the losses also, then they will be held liable for the losses as well to the contribution of capital they have done, right? But the profits would be shared, as it can be equal sharing of the profit, it can be depending on the capital they would have contributed to the business. That is partnership type of. Coming on to next, private limited companies, as I told, as which is called as limited companies also. So private limited companies as I have marked as profit. So it exists to provide consumers with the goods and services with the common objective of making a profit. Some of these small businesses only known by their clients and local communities, while others globally famous. So there are a number of private limited companies which are known globally there, but their objectives are to make as to serve the consumers with the product and services with the aim of making profit as well. Some are locally known, some are globally known. Public Limited, which we call as PLC, which is one of the classifications of a private sector. Public Limited Company is similar to private limited company only. It exists to provide goods and services to make profit and is owned by its shareholders. The fundamental difference between the PLC and the limited company, that is which, between a public limited and a private limited company, is that PLC, which is a public limited company that can share their shares can be traded onto the stock exchange, whereas private limited company, if they want to share they want to trade their shares onto stock exchange, they have to change their status to a public limited company. That can happen, then they'll be able to sell its shares to the public. Examples of PLC are Sky, Rolls-Royce, Tesco, McDonald's. Then comes the third sector, what we were talking about. This is also called as a not-for-profit organizations. Why we are talking about this sector? Because one of the examples of this sector is our SIPs. So third sector, organizations often referred to as TSO and are not a part of a public or a private sector. They exist to support and promote social, environmental, and cultural objectives. They are there for promoting the private and the public sector by way of social, cultural objectives. They do not aim to make profit as it was for private sectors. Any profits which they make as a surplus, that particular profit or surplus is used to support their goals, which can be environmental goal, social goal, or the cultural goal as their objectives. That is why this third sector organization as TSOs are often referred as non not for profit organizations. The examples of these third sector organizations are charity, voluntary, and community organizations, cooperatives, trade unions, and professional associations. SIPS is an example of TSO, where they don't have a profit motive. What they do behind the objective of social or environmental safeguard. That's all for today.